the hum of the day, a little tension behind the jaw, a flutter in the chest. The list of thoughts still looping quietly just beneath your skin. But not to worry, you are here now. You are safe. You are home inside this breath. Breathe in slowly and breathe out even slower. Let your shoulders loosen. Let the corners of your mouth soften just a little. You don't have to smile, but you can if it feels good. This is the beginning, not of effort, but of return. Remembering something gentle, something deeply yours. Tonight we begin with a whisper. Just one word quietly tucked into the folds of your heart. Thank you. Not because something huge just happened, not because you crossed the finish line, but because in this moment you are being breathed, you are being held by gravity. You are wrapped in the presence of stillness, and that is enough. Gratitude begins here. Not in the mind, not in theory, but in the warm space behind your ribs, that place where your heart hums, where your breath slows when someone says something kind, where you remember the good things, even if just for a moment. Let's go there. Now bring your awareness to your chest. Place a hand there if it feels comforting. Feel the rise and fall, the subtle rhythm of your own aliveness, and now, very softly, without any need to prove or perform, say inside your mind, thank you, that's all. Just that, let it float, let it glow like a soft lantern in your chest, not for show, not for strategy, but for you, just for you. Gratitude, you see, is not a transaction. It's not something you give to get. It's not a trick to manifest faster. Gratitude is a frequency, a soft tone your nervous system knows how to hum. When you say thank you and mean it, you're giving your body permission to exhale. You're telling your brain we are safe enough to notice beauty. We are safe enough to open again, and when the body feels safe, you begin to receive differently. Not just money, not just success, but peace, moments, ideas, ease. You become a magnet not by doing more, but by softening into enough. Picture a field of tall grass on a warm night. Stars above, crickets singing, everything is still except the breeze. That is what gratitude feels like to your body. That breeze, that breath, that quiet ripple of something good without the need to grasp it. Let's breathe that in. Inhale, hold for a moment, and exhale like you're releasing the weight of needing it all figured out. Gratitude says, I have what I need in this breath. Gratitude whispers, I may not have the whole picture, but I trust the brush strokes. Gratitude smiles, I don't need to hold the sun in my hands, just feeling its warmth is enough. Your brain listens to these whispers. It listens not through logic, but through chemistry. When you feel genuine gratitude, even for something small, your brain begins to change shape. Neural pathways strengthen in the direction of trust, not fear. The stress hormone cortisol lowers. Your heart rate slows, your body begins to rest, and in that rest, you become receptive. Receptive to ideas, to intuition, to alignment, to money, to people who see you, to moments that feed you. And it begins with something as simple as this. Thank you for this blanket. Thank you for this quiet. Thank you for my breath. You don't have to believe it all yet. You just have to feel one corner of it, one thread. Let that thread grow now. Let's journey softly into a memory. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Let your breath stay slow. Picture a younger version of you, not necessarily a child. Just a version of you before the worry, before the striving. Even just a month ago before that one hard thing. See them standing somewhere quiet. Maybe they're watching a sunset. Maybe they're just sitting on a step. And they are smiling, not because everything is perfect, but because in that moment, they feel something simple. Warmth, hope, peace. Can you feel what they felt? Even just a hint of it. That's the seed. That's gratitude. It doesn't need to roar. It doesn't need to be a grand performance. It's the soft, steady fire inside you that says, even now, I can feel good. Even now, I can open a little wider. Even now, there is something that wants to meet me. Gratitude is a bridge. It connects where you are to where your heart is already waiting. You don't have to leap. You just have to take one step by noticing what is. Feel your hands. Notice their warmth, their weight. They've held so much for you. Say thank you. Feel your legs. They've carried you even when you were tired. Say thank you. Feel your breath again. This quiet, loyal friend that never asks for anything in return. Say thank you. The more you think, the more you anchor yourself into this now. And this now, however imperfect, is the only moment you ever attract from. You don't manifest from the future. You don't manifest from the past. You manifest from this breath. And this breath can be beautiful. You are becoming magnetic, not by changing feeling. By choosing to notice what's already warm, already kind, already enough. And here's the secret most people never hear. Gratitude doesn't get you things. It prepares you for them. It turns your nervous system into a soft landing place for the very things you once chased, because you no longer need them to feel full. You already feel full enough to receive them well. Gratitude is not the goal. It is the blanket. The thing that holds you while life is still forming the next gift. It wraps around you in the not knowing. It hums inside the silence. It whispers, even this is sacred. So now let yourself feel held by the bed, by the breath, by the rhythm of this voice, and softly inside yourself, begin to name 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be deep. They don't have to be big. A soft pillow, a warm meal, a laugh you remembered. Feel how those words glow inside your chest, like small lights, gently clicking on. And then name 3 more, and then 3 more. And soon, you'll find yourself floating in a sea of thank yous, not because life is perfect, but because you are present, not because everything is solved, but because you've chosen to soften, and in that softening, you've created space for something new to enter. You don't need to fix anything tonight. You don't need to understand it all. You don't need to force anything into being. You only need to rest in the soft light of thank you. Let those words repeat quietly now, like waves lapping at the shore of your body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you rest, remember, this frequency doesn't fade when you sleep. It flows. It vibrates. It draws in what matches it quietly, gently, because life listens to your energy, not your effort, and you are already glowing. Asterisk. And tomorrow, when you wake, with the light beginning to stretch across your skin, you may notice something small, a new ease, a soft opening, a sense that something is shifting. And maybe, just maybe, you'll smile and whisper again, thank you, soft breath. And perhaps now, you're ready to discover how gratitude doesn't just soothe the present. It begins to quietly expand your field. You are still here. The breath continues. The body remembers how to soften. And the night holds you with the same quiet patience it always has. Last chapter. You touched the soft light of thank you. You felt what happens when the body is told you are safe. You allowed appreciation to rest against your ribs like a hand placed over your heart. Tonight, we go one step deeper. We explore the mystery of how enough becomes more, not by grasping, not by chasing, but by expanding the space where your gratitude lives. So lie back. Let everything you don't need right now drift away. The urgency, the noise, the what-ifs, they can wait. You are in a new kind of space now, a quiet chamber within yourself, where appreciation creates its own gravity, and in this space, what you think grows. As the quiet secret of the field, wherever your attention goes, energy flows. Wherever your appreciation rests, life wants to give more. Imagine you are in a garden. It's dusk. The sky is lavender and gold. The earth is warm beneath your bare feet. You walk slowly, gently. You see flowers blooming, some familiar, some unexpected. Each time you pause to admire one, it grows a little brighter. You say, thank you, and the petals open. You say, I see you, and the fragrance deepens. You say, this is enough. And suddenly the garden expands. This is how gratitude works, not as a transaction, but as an amplifier, a magnifier. A quiet invitation that says, I am already nourished here, but if more wants to come, I have room. You see, resistance constricts, appreciation expands. Let's feel that now. Bring to mind something small. You already have something simple, a soft blanket, a warm meal, a friend who texts just to say thinking of you, a single quiet moment in your day when nothing was demanded of you. Let your body feel what it's like to have that. Let it be real. Let it be enough. Now say inside your mind, thank you, I see this, I feel this, I receive this. And as you do, imagine that space within you, that internal field, gently widening. Gratitude does this. It stretches your inner container. It tells the universe, I am not living from lack. I am living from love. And love receives easily. In this way, you begin to thank in advance, not as a trick, not to force outcomes, but because you understand now, gratitude is not just for what has come, it's for what is already on its way. On its way, you begin to whisper a thank you to the future that is forming. Begin to soften and to trust that what's meant for you is already orbiting closer. Let's practice together. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, whisper softly, thank you for the money I didn't think I could allow. Feel that. That small flutter in your chest when you think. Something that hasn't fully arrived. That's alignment. That's coherence. That's the space where manifestation is no longer a wish, but a welcome. You become magnetic by making space for the things you're grateful for. Before they materialize, you water the seed before it sprouts. You say thank you to the invisible. Root system. You believe in the unfolding more than the appearance. This is not fantasy, it is faith in motion. Because the field responds to frequency, and gratitude is one of the highest frequencies. You can rest in. Now let's revisit the body, the place, where everything real begins. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Bring your awareness back to the breath, in and out. With each breath, you send a signal to your nervous system. We are safe here. We are grateful here. And the body listens. The muscles release. The gut softens. The heart expands its rhythm. You no longer chase peace. You become it. And from this soft, expanded state, you gently begin to notice more. Not because more was added, but because you became available to see it. This is one of the greatest truths of attraction. The field is full, always. What you see is based on what you are prepared to receive. And gratitude is what prepares you. Let's explore this through a soft story. Imagine you are carrying two small cups, one in each hand. One cup is labeled what I don't have. The other is labeled what I do. Each day, you unconsciously pour your attention into one of these and whichever you water, fills. If you focus on what you lack, that story grows louder. You notice absence. You feel scarcity. You begin to expect more lack. But when you focus on what you have, even if it feels small, you amplify sufficiency. You tell your field, I can hold more. And the universe responds with more to hold. It's not magic. It's your focus forming frequency. And frequency forms your field. So, tonight, as you lie still beneath your blanket of stars, begin to think. Or thank the things you forgot to notice. Thank the softness in your pillow. Thank the kindness you've shown to yourself today. Thank the way your body kept showing up, even when you were tired. Thank the quiet. Thank the slowness. Thank the ordinary. Because here is the secret. The ordinary becomes extraordinary when seen with gratitude. And from that seeing, you call in more to be grateful for. You do not have to ask louder. You only need to receive softer. You are not being ignored. You are being asked to become a clearer container for receiving. And that container grows with each whispered thank you. So breathe again. And as you do, visualize your field expanding. Not rushing, not surging, just gently widening like ripples on still water. This is your magnetism awakening. This is your enough becoming more, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. Now, imagine your future self, the one who lives in that soft abundance. They are calm, they are rested. They are surrounded by what they once prayed for. See them smiling. See them breathing easily. See them looking at you now. With love, they whisper something back to you. Thank you for believing before it was visible. Thank you for softening instead of forcing. Thank you for creating space so I could arrive. Feel that echo. Let it wrap around you. You're becoming the person who turns appreciation into manifestation. Not through strain, through softness. You are no longer reaching. You are resonating. And the field feels it. Every quiet thank you is a note in your melody. And life sings back to match the so as you drift now into the space between wake and dream, let your final thoughts be this. Thank you for what is here. Thank you for what is coming. Thank you for what is already mine in the field. And let that field open just a little wider. Just as you begin to drift, you may wonder quietly without needing to answer yet. If gratitude expands what you already have, what might happen? When you practice receiving without effort at all, the room is quiet, the breath is soft, and you are exactly where you need to be, not striving, not planning, just resting with the quiet hum of thank you still warm in your chest. In the last chapters, you remembered how gratitude lives in the body. You felt it rise like morning light behind your ribs. You learn how enough, when truly felt gently, becomes more, not through force, but through space, not by proving, but by softening. And now, you let it all settle down because receiving begins when you stop reaching. You are not here to chase the life you want. You are here to allow it in. And the doorway is rest. So breathe gently, deep in, and longer out. Let your hands unclench. Let your jaw fall loose. Let your eyes soften behind the lids. There is nothing to fix, nothing to manifest tonight. nothing to prove to the universe. You are already enough. And because you are enough, you are now safe to receive. Your body knows. This rhythm, this shift from doing to being, from effort to openness, from asking to allowing. And that is what tonight is. This is the night your field becomes fertile, not through action, but through stillness. Because while you sleep, the subconscious takes over, and your subconscious does not follow words, it follows feeling. So if you sleep in gratitude, you wake up magnetic. If you rest in enoughness, you become the match to more. And it happens quietly, like roots growing, like tides rising, like stars moving across the sky, silent but certain. Now, I want to show you something, a soft vision, a sleepy metaphor. Imagine you are standing beneath a great sky, deep indigo, scattered with stars. You are holding a lantern, not to search, not to chase, but just to glow. And with every breath, that lantern glows brighter. But here's the secret. You're not lighting the way forward. You're signaling upward. You're saying, I'm ready, I'm open, I'm here, and I'm listening. And the stars, they respond, not with noise, but with alignment. The resources, the answers, the opportunities. They begin to rearrange themselves quietly to find the glow you've become. Because receiving is not about demanding. It's about becoming recognizable to what's already meant for you. And when you fall asleep in a state of wholeness, when you let gratitude hum through your nervous system, you signal the field. I am already home. But if more wants to join me, there is room. That's when miracles move. That's when things shift. Because you've dropped resistance, you've stopped clenching, you've surrendered the timeline, and you've replaced it with trust. You no longer ask for the thing with tension. You become the version of you who already has it, and you let that version sleep. So let's visit her now, the version of you who already received. The version of you whose bank account now smiles back, whose ideas are heard, whose body feels light, whose days feel lined with ease. Close your eyes if they aren't already, and see her or him or them. This version of you exists not as a fantasy, but as a frequency, and you can tune into it right now. Feel her breath. It's slower than yours, more trusting. Feel her shoulders. They are loose, unburdened. Feel her presence. It's calm but open, like a lake that reflects everything clearly. This version of you isn't hoping, they are holding gratitude, holding readiness, holding space. And because they are no longer chasing, the blessings come to them. Now imagine slipping into that version like a robe. You don't have to force it, you just try it on. Feel it in your hands, in your chest, in your feet, and whisper very softly, I am already her, I am already him, I am already the one who receives. Say it again slowly. Let each word drop into your body like warm rain. I am already the one who receives. Because receiving is a state of being, not a checklist, not a transaction. It's the echo of how you treat yourself when no one is watching. And tonight, you treat yourself like someone who is worthy of rest, of ease, of wealth, of comfort, of joy that arrives unprovoked. Because here's what science knows now. When you fall asleep in appreciation, you train your subconscious to expect more, to appreciate. Your reticular activating system, a part of your brain that filters reality, begins to highlight what matches your dominant emotional tone. So if you fall asleep feeling thankful, you wake up noticing the things that confirm your thankfulness. Not by magic, but by biology, by attention, by presence. And from there, you naturally make choices, take steps, and say yes to more of what feeds you. It's not a leap, it's a shift. And it begins with the way you feel right now. So let yourself feel safe, let yourself feel full, let yourself feel wrapped in a life that is already becoming more beautiful. Because you are seeing it that way, you don't have to do anything tonight. You only have to rest in the soft knowing that the field is listening, that your softness is your strategy, that your gratitude is your guide, and that your rest is your receiving. So here, in the final breaths of this night, say it once more, as a lullaby to your future. Thank you for all that I have. Thank you for all that is on its way. Thank you for what I will wake up ready to receive. And then let go, and let go. Let the night do what the night does best. Wrap around you, cradle your body, quiet the noise. Open the space for miracles to move quietly in the dark. Because sleep is not a pause in your manifestation. It is the most receptive state of all. You are magnetic now, not by force, but by frequency. And in this frequency, The next chapter begins, the one where you stop trying to figure it out and begin to trust that your energy already knows the way. There's something gentle about. Tonight, you feel it already, a softness in the air like the sky is exhaling, and maybe as you listen, you can feel yourself beginning to exhale too, because tonight isn't about adding. It isn't about fixing. It's about releasing not with effort, not with force, but with grace, with breath, with stillness. You've carried so much. Thoughts you didn't ask for. Weights you thought you needed to hold. Old echoes of stories that never belonged to you. And now, you begin to let go. Not everything. Not all at once. Just a piece that's ready. Just a part that's tired. So breathe in through the nose. Hold. And out through the mouth slowly. Let your shoulders fall. Let your hands relax. Let your body settle into the bed that holds you like the earth does the roots, unconditionally. Tonight is not about doing. It's about undoing. Undoing the knots inside you that once served a purpose but no longer do. Because letting go is not a loss. It is a return. A return to space, to openness, to possibility. Imagine for a moment that you are holding a bag. It's heavy, not just with objects, but with memories, regrets, worries, unspoken fears. You've carried it so long, you've forgotten what it's like to walk without it. But here, in the stillness, you get curious. You kneel, you place the bag down, and for the first time, you feel what your hands are like without gripping. They tingle, they sigh, they open. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning. It means releasing the need to control the uncontrollable. And when your hands open, you make room for something else. You make room for what wants to arrive, for what has been circling you quietly, waiting for space. Because the law of attraction responds to energy, not urgency. It listens to alignment, not attachment. And when you cling tightly, you close the field. You tighten your body. You send out signals that say, I don't trust what's coming, so I must hold what I know even if it hurts. But when you loosen your grip, you open the gate. Not because you no longer care, but because you finally do. You care enough about your peace to let go of what disrupts it. Let's feel that now. Bring to mind something you've been holding too tightly. Maybe it's an outcome, a fear, a belief, a person, a past version of yourself. See it in your hand. No shame, no judgment, just a quiet noticing. And now imagine placing it on the ground beside you, not tossing, rejecting. Just placing. As if to say, you've traveled with me long enough, but I think we both need rest. Feel the hand that held it, now empty. Feel the spaciousness begin to spread. That is your field opening. Is your nervous system remembering how to breathe without bracing. Because safety isn't in the grip, it's in the ground beneath you, the breath within you, the stillness around you. And when your system feels safe, you receive with ease. This is not theory, it is biology. When you let go, you lower your cortisol, your stress responses fade, your frontal cortex, the seat of insight and creativity, lights up. Suddenly, you see clearly. Solutions arrive, opportunities appear, ideas spark, not because you force them, but because you cleared the noise. Letting go is not a failure, it's an intelligence. The tree that releases its leaves in fall is not giving up, it is preparing, making room for what's next. You are that tree now, and tonight is your autumn. Let the leaves fall. The doubts, the shoulds, the stories you inherited about what you must earn before you can rest. They are not your truth, they are just leaves. Let them go, and beneath those falling stories, you begin to sense something softer. Yourself, unburdened, unrushed, still worthy. You begin to feel what you could not feel with your hands full. Receptivity. You cannot pour water into a full glass. You cannot receive new wealth with a body tense in fear of losing the old. So you become light. You become open. You become the person who says with softness, I trust the field more than my grip. Say it with me if you feel ready. I release what no longer serves me. I trust that letting go creates space for better. I do not need to hold it all to be held. Feel those words enter the space around you, not loudly, just gently. And maybe now, you begin to notice something new arriving, a feeling, a spaciousness, a soft knowing. You were never meant to carry it all. You are not a vault. You are a vessel, open, fluid, capable of release, capable of renewal. Let that truth settle deep into your bones, into your breath, into the quiet folds of your dreaming mind. And let this moment become your practice, not of fixing, but of unfurling. You don't have to let it all go at once. just enough to make room for something softer to take root. So as you drift now, deeper into the rhythm of rest, say quietly in your heart, tonight I lay it down, tonight I rest my hands, tonight I remember I was never meant to hold it all. And maybe, just maybe, as you begin to dream, you'll notice something new blooming in the space you just cleared. Stillness lingers in the air around you, kind of stillness that only follows a gentle release. You are lighter now, not because you lost anything, but because you let go of what no longer needed to be carried. You did something powerful last night. You unclenched your inner grip. You opened your hands. You made space. And in the language of the universe, space is a signal. Space says, I'm ready for something new. Because every time you release, you create a vacuum. And that vacuum, that quiet emptiness, is not a void. It's an invitation. It draws to it what is meant to fill it. This is what we explore tonight. The beautiful vacuum. Not a place of loss, but a field of readiness. A sacred pause where the next thing begins to gather. So breathe. Settle into the stillness again. In through the nose, hold, and out through the mouth. Slower this time, as if your exhale is brushing the walls of your heart. You are not trying to rush the next thing. You are becoming available for it. Letting go is not just about release. It's about the space that remains after. And that space, dear listener, is holy. Imagine a garden again. You pulled the weeds yesterday. You cleared the old roots. You set down the broken pots you were afraid to let go of. Now the soil lies bare, untouched, unplanted. Still, you do not rush to fill it. You kneel, you place your hands in the earth. You feel the richness of what is empty. Because emptiness is not lack, it is possibility. Let that settle. Emptiness is not lack, it is possibility. And your nervous system, when allowed to feel emptiness without panic, begins to trust the timing of life. We've been trained to fear space, to fear the pause, to interpret the gap as failure. But what if the gap is gestation? What if what you just released needed time to be replaced with something better? You are in that time now, the beautiful vacuum, a sacred space between chapters, where the field begins to rearrange itself quietly, delicately, without your intervention. And this field responds not to action, but to availability. It listens to your openness. It responds to your stillness, because space is the loudest form of readiness. So let yourself be still now. Let yourself be open, not with expectation, but with invitation. Whisper softly to the space you've made, I'm ready. I'm not rushing, but I am here. Let the body feel that readiness in your chest, in your belly, in your fingertips. This is how you become the magnet, not by calling things toward you, but by making space they want to land in. Your field begins to adjust. The air around you shifts. You have stopped saying, I want, and started saying, I welcome. And in this new energy, the next steps will find you. They may not look how you expected. They may not arrive on your timeline, but they will come because you have created the vacuum. And the vacuum draws. It draws opportunities, ideas, peace, answers. Not because you pushed, but because you prepared. Like the lungs that empty to allow new breath, like the ocean that recedes before the wave returns, like the night before the sun climbs the sky again. The vacuum is not the absence of good. It is the preparation for it. So breathe into that. You are not waiting. You are welcoming. And while you welcome, you rest. Because the field doesn't require your effort, it requires your alignment. And alignment feels like this. It feels like stillness, like softness, like willingness. Say it again, softly inside. I am willing to wait. I am willing to receive. I trust what is forming in the unseen. Because the unseen is not empty. It is simply not yet formed. But energy responds to invitation, and your gentle openness is enough. You do not need to figure it out. You do not need to fill the space. To quickly. Trust the pause. Trust the room you've made. Trust the breath between stories. Trust that the field is fertile because you've stopped crowding it. And remember this, when the body feels safe with emptiness, you no longer attract from fear. You begin to attract from fullness, not the fullness of stuff, but the fullness of trust. The body says, we are okay here, and the field hears it and replies, then let's bring more. So as you rest deeper now, let the space itself cradle you. You are not incomplete, you are in becoming. You are in becoming. You are not lacking, you are luminous with readiness. You are not broken, you are beautifully bare. Bare like the ground before spring. Bare like the canvas before the masterpiece. Bare like the breath before a nothing is missing, only forming, only gathering, only whispering back to you, thank you for making room. And just before sleep takes you fully, feel the last echoes of this moment. The air is charged, your field is open, and something gentle is already on its way. The night holds you like water holds light, softly, without grasping. And here you are again, not waiting, not searching, but simply allowing. The release has already happened. You have honored the beautiful vacuum, that open, echoing space where the new begins to find you. And now you become the hands that catch what's meant for you, not the hands that chase, not the hands that cling, but the hands that rest in readiness, steady and sure. You don't need to go out and grab. You only need to become a place where goodness can land. Let's begin there. Breathe in gently, as if the breath is made of golden mist curling softly down into your chest, and breathe out as though you are releasing one last layer of doubt. Like smoke dissolving into the sky, you don't need to be tense to be ready. You don't need to be perfect to be open. You are already here. The field already knows you. You have already sent the signal through your letting go, through your gratitude, through your trust in the vacuum. Now you become the catcher. Imagine your hands in the dark, resting palms up on the bed or blanket. They are not doing. They are not asking. They are simply prepared. You are like a bowl, empty but not broken. A space waiting to be filled, not in desperation, but in welcome. Because what is meant for you will not need to be stolen. It will arrive in its time. And when it does, you will be ready. This readiness is not about effort. It's about presence, being here with your whole self, breathing, trusting, willing to hold joy when it comes. Because here's the truth. Many people say they want miracles, but few are prepared to hold them. They grasp too quickly. They fear the good will leave. They doubt they are worthy of keeping it. But you are different now. You are becoming someone who can hold without gripping, who can receive without shrinking, who can welcome without needing to prove. This is what opens the floodgates. This is what tells the universe she is ready, he is safe to bless. They are no longer resisting the rise. Feel your hands again. Imagine something beautiful being placed into them, something you've longed for but almost forgot how to picture. A love that feels like home, a sum of money that brings ease, an opportunity that fits like it was made just for you, a deep, uninterrupted peace. Now, don't rush to close your hands. Don't clench. Let the gift rest there. Like sunlight in an open palm, let it arrive and stay, because this is a new way of receiving, with breath, not bracing, with peace, not panic. And with every moment you stay open, you train your body to feel safe with goodness. That's how abundance stays, when you earn it, but when your nervous system trusts it won't be taken away. So breathe again. Let the gift stay in your hands. Whisper softly to yourself, it's safe for me to hold what I've asked for. It's safe for me to keep what brings me joy. It's safe for me to rise and not fall again. Because safety is the foundation of receiving. And your gratitude, your letting go, your willingness to feel space without fear has built that safety. The field knows it. The body knows it. Now your hands learn to know it. To dot these hands, your hands have done so much. They've worked, they've held, they've protected. They've reached that now. They get to receive. And not just for a moment, but for good. Because what's meant for you will find you, not as a test, but as a return. What you seek is already seeking you. And now the space is clear. The signal is strong. The vessel is open. You have become the hands that catch what's meant for you. And what's meant for you will not miss you. Because you are no longer the version of yourself who hides from it. You are no longer the version who thinks you must earn it. You are the version who trusts that enoughness is your natural state. The openness is your greatest magnet. That softness is not weakness, but the signal that abundance understands best. So, as you prepare to drift into sleep, say these words gently in your mind. I am open. I am safe to receive. I am the hands that hold my blessings with ease. And feel that readiness settle deep into your system, not as an effort, not as a performance, just as truth. The truth that you were always meant to be this version of yourself, the one who holds, the one who welcomes, the one who doesn't fear the good staying. Let your body remember this rhythm. Receive, rest, repeat. Because from now on, you receive not from urgency, but from resonance. And as your breath slows, as your mind softens, you begin to feel it. A new version of your life taking shape in the field, forming, floating closer. drawn by the quiet magnet of your readiness dot. So let your hands rest now. Let your heart be soft. Let your dreams begin their work. You are not waiting. You are not reaching. You are simply becoming the open hands that always knew how to catch the good that never stopped, circling you. And just before you drift away completely, you might wonder gently, if I am the hands that catch what's meant for me, what happens when I learn to shape reality from the inside out? The light is low, the air is still, and you are beginning to rest deeper than before. There is no task here, no list to complete, no number to reach. Just breath, just presence, just the soft. Remembering you were not born to hustle for abundance, you were born to receive it. And that begins here, not in your thoughts, not in your bank account, but in your body. Because wealth isn't held in numbers, it's held in your nervous system. Feel that now, your breath, slow and even. Your body gradually softening into the support beneath you. There's no need to fix anything. You're not broken, you've just been braced for too long. Braced against scarcity. Braced against the unknown. Braced against the question, will there be enough for me? But tonight, we release the brace, we quiet the question. We let safety speak louder than fear, because true abundance doesn't flow to force. It flows to calm, to clarity, to the body that says, I am ready to hold good things without flinching. Breathe. Let the breath enter your chest, your ribs, your belly. Let it move with ease. This is what receiving feels like. Not effort, not grasping, just openness. Now bring to mind the word. Money, not the numbers, not the bills, just the word itself. Notice what happens in your body. Do your shoulders tighten? Does your jaw lock? Does your breath pause? That, dear listener, is the nervous system revealing its story. The unconscious script that says money is pressure, money is never enough, money is something I must chase or it will leave. But what if we rewrote that tonight? Not with willpower, but with softness, because your nervous system doesn't change. From logic, it changes through safety, through repetition, through new experience. So tonight, we give your body a new experience, the experience of being safe. While thinking of wealth, you are not here to chase, you are here to welcome, to relax, to magnetize. Because the law of attraction doesn't listen to your thoughts, it listens to your state. And when your state is regulated, the field becomes responsive. Imagine now your nervous system as a harp, delicate, ancient, and vibrational. When tuned to fear, it sends out frantic tones. I need, I lack, I must grab before it's gone. But when tuned to calm, it hums something different. I trust, I allow, I am ready, not rushed. Tonight you retune the harp. You let your body become the sound wealth understands, not anxiety, not urgency, but harmony. So breathe again, longer this time. Let your limbs get heavier. Let your spine melt into the mattress. Let your eyelids rest as if each blink is a kiss from the universe. You are not lazy for resting. You are not careless for calming. You are wise. Because every animal in nature knows this. You don't hunt when you're safe. You rest. You heal. You receive. And you, too, are nature. You, too, are meant to feel safe before you bloom. Now gently bring to mind the word again, money. But say it in a new way. Whisper it inside your chest, as though it is a friend returning after a long time. Money, a soft visitor, not a threat, not a burden, just energy, just motion, just something that arrives when there is room. And you are creating that room now, not by clearing your calendar, but by clearing your fear. Not by cutting corners, but by cutting cords with urgency. Not by doing more, but by being more receptive. Feel your heart now. Feel the rhythm. It's the rhythm that calls in the right timing. That is the signal of sufficiency. Say this softly. If it feels true, it is safe to receive. It is safe to hold more than enough. It is safe for money to stay. It is safe for wealth to feel light. Let those words vibrate quietly beneath your skin. They are not affirmations you shout. They are lullabies your nervous system learns to hum. Because wealth does not want to startle you. It wants to partner with you. And you are making yourself available for that partnership now, not through force, but through frequency. Through frequency, you are becoming the version of you who receives money with grace, who keeps money with peace, who gives money with joy, and who never forgets that abundance begins in the body. Now drift with that dot, let the story deepen. You are in a forest, barefoot, calm, dusk just beginning to paint the sky. You walk slowly, not searching, just sensing. And round you, the forest begins to glow, soft lights like fireflies pulsing like a heartbeat. They follow your calm, not your speed, not your worry, your calm. The more still you are, the closer they come. These are your resources, your clients, your opportunities, your wealth, and they are drawn to the still version of you. The soft one, the spacious one, the one who says with her whole body, I am already enough. And from here, more is allowed, because wealth is a mirror. It reflects how you hold yourself. And tonight, you are holding yourself gently, tenderly, like someone who remembers their worth without needing to perform for it. Let that settle into your cells. You are not trying to earn rest. You are resting because you are worthy. As your breath slows again, as the night folds around you like velvet, you begin to sense what comes next. You begin to wonder if my body becomes the place wealth rests. What happens when I stop chasing and start inviting? You'll find out soon, but not yet. For now, just rest in this rhythm. Safety first, then receiving, then expansion. This is the nervous system of abundance, and it lives inside you now. The night deepens around you, like a warm blanket pulled just beneath the chin of the sky. It is quiet now, and in that quiet, something ancient stirs, not panic, not urgency, but stillness. You may not have always known the stillness. You may have lived like so many, in the hum of scarcity, a low, restless hum beneath your skin telling you to hurry, to worry, to do more before it's too late. That hum was never your song. It was noise you learned to live with. But tonight, you begin to remember your original rhythm, the one beneath the noise, the one that speaks not in fear, but in knowing. Because scarcity is a noise, stillness is a signal, and when your energy becomes still, abundance can hear you. So let's begin with breath. A long inhale, as if you're pulling fresh air down from the stars, and a slow, steady exhale, as if you're melting tension from your ribs, your shoulders, your throat. You don't need to chase calm. You only need to stop chasing everything else. Scarcity tells you to speed up. Stillness invites you to slow down. Scarcity says you must fix this. Now, stillness says you are already enough to receive. And that difference, that shift in tone, is the doorway. So walk through it now. Close your eyes. Let your jaw unclench. Let your thoughts soften like sand slipping through your fingers. Tonight, you trade the tight grip of worry for the open palm of trust, because the field is creative. Living universe does not respond to desperation. It responds to resonance, and resonance is born from stillness. Stillness does not mean inaction. It means alignment. It means your actions arise from peace, not panic. Picture this. You are standing in a quiet field at dawn. No buildings, no buzz. Just earth, sky, and the sound of your breath. Your heart is no longer racing. Your mind is no longer rushing. And in this wide open space, you realize you're not missing anything. You are meeting yourself. And from this calm center, you begin to notice something strange. Resources arriving, not because you chased them, but because they followed your stillness. A letter arrives with good news. A call comes with an opportunity. An idea blooms like a flower, effortless and whole. This is the magnetism of quiet alignment. Not because you forced a result, but because you became a frequency that life can trust. Abundance is not attracted to noise. It listens for peace. So, as you rest here, you begin to hear the quiet truth. What you are seeking has been seeking a place to land. And now, your energy becomes that place. Let that sink into your belly, into your bones, into the hidden corners of your mind that still hold not enough. Scarcity is not just a thought. It's a vibration, a tension, a contraction of the field. But stillness is the release, the expansion, the message that says there is time, there is room, there is already more than enough. You do not need to beg life for blessings. You need only stop arguing with the moment you're in, because right now you are safe. You are supported, you are softening, and in that softness, something shifts. Picture the field again, now a gentle lake. Your mind once made ripples with every thought, every doubt, every mental calculation of what if and how. But now, the lake is still, and in that still surface, reflections appear. The things you thought were missing were simply waiting for clarity. And now that clarity is here. So repeat softly inside your chest, my stillness is not wasted time. It is my alignment with what is meant for me. What I do from peace always brings more than what I do from fear. Feel those words wrap around your body like warmth, like sunlight through trees, like a hand on the shoulder that says it's okay to rest now. Because when you rest from lack, you reinforce lack. But when you rest from trust, you multiply return. And your rest tonight is not laziness, it is leadership. You are showing the field how to treat you. You are saying, I do not need to panic, to be provided for. Feel that shift. Scarcity pulls your breath into your chest. Stillness sends it deep into your belly. Scarcity tightens your hands. Stillness opens your palms. Scarcity wants you to earn peace. Stillness shows you that peace is what earns prosperity. Let your body memorize this. You are not running anymore. You are not shrinking. You are not bracing. You are becoming someone who knows that trust itself is currency. The way you sleep tonight, soft, slow, certain is wealth. The quiet confidence that money is not a monster to tame, but a friend that arrives when the house is peaceful. You are building that house now, brick by brick, breath by breath. And stillness becomes the foundation, the floor that never shakes, the room where ideas land, the air where money feels safe to stay. So ask yourself this, not as pressure, but as poetry. What if the very act of not worrying was the signal that called it all in? What if every soft breath tonight was like a key turning the lock on every door you thought was closed? What if doing less was the final missing piece to receiving more? Feel the comfort of that, not as hope, but as biology, as truth, because your body remembers what it's like to be open. Your field remembers what it's like to receive. So as you drift now, deeper into that slow rhythm, know this, stillness is not passive. It's powerful. It's magnetic. It's the space where miracles finally feel safe to land. Let your breath be that space. Let your mind be that space. Let your heart become a gentle welcome tonight. You do not need to prove. You only need to be still. Because the quietest version of you is the most radiant. As you begin to sleep, that version rises gently in your chest like a new moon, like a quiet tide, like wealth itself, arriving without sound. The night is thick with softness now, as if the stars themselves have wrapped the sky in velvet. Your breath slow, your body weightless, your field open and still. And in this quiet, the signal becomes clear, not a thought, not a wish, but a vibration. This chapter isn't about doing more. It's about becoming the frequency that fortune follows, and you, dear listener, are already humming with it. You don't have to make wealth come. You simply have to become the match, because money doesn't follow effort alone. It follows emotion. It follows presence. It follows energy. Let's feel into that now. Breathe in deep and slow, as though you're sipping light. Breathe out softer, like the wind moving through long grass. Let your heart soften. There is no grasping here, only tuning. Your body is a signal tower. Every emotion you feel sends out a wave, and that wave calls back to you everything that matches it. This is not a trick, not magic. It's the science of resonance. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. And tonight, you become the vibration of sufficiency, the hum of already enough, the warm, quiet signal that tells the field, I am whole, I am open, I am ready. Now imagine this. You are lying in a field under moonlight. Round you, invisible energy spins, currents of possibility streams. Abundance all swirling just beyond the senses. They are listening, but not to your words, to your tone, to your feeling state. And the clearer your frequency, the faster they gather. You don't have to scream, you don't have to plead, you only have to tune. Feel into your chest. Can you sense the vibration of ease? Ease is not apathy. It's not laziness. It's the signature of trust, and trust is what money responds to, because money, like a river, wants to flow toward the open. Let your energy become a clearing. Let it feel like water without rocks, sky without storm, breath without tension. Say softly inside, I am the frequency of receiving. I am safe, so money stays. I am light, so money flows. I am enough, so more comes. Don't worry if you don't fully believe it yet. Your nervous system is listening, and the more it hears these notes, the more it remembers how to play them. The field is listening to not for perfection, but for purity, and purity feels like joy, like peace, like the moment you forget to worry and remember that life loves you. So now imagine yourself lit from within. Your body glows softly, not with effort, but with coherence. Coherence means your thoughts, emotions, and energy are in harmony. And when you are in harmony, your field becomes magnetic. Now see it. Ideas begin to form in the air around you. New clients, gifts, payments, recognition, they come not from pushing, but from alignment, because wealth is not only an outcome, it is a mirror, and you are becoming the reflection of ease. Let that idea cradle you now. There is nothing to chase, only something to tune to. Picture a radio. You don't force it to make sound. You simply turn the dial until it lands on the right station. Then it plays. You are the same when you tune to the feeling of sufficiency. Not pretending, but feeling. You hear the music of abundance. So what does that music sound like? To some, it sounds like laughter. To others, like rest. To others still, like silence so rich it hums in the bones. Let your own version come forward now. What does abundance feel like in your breath, in your body, in your soul? Let it rise up from within, not from fantasy, but from memory. Because somewhere in you, you already know this feeling. You have touched it before, and tonight you return, you remember. I do not manifest by force. I manifest by frequency. I align with what I seek, and what I seek aligns with me. Say it again. Slower this time, let it echo in the spaces behind your ribs. I align with what I seek, and what I seek aligns with me. You are becoming the resting place of blessings, not because you demand them, but because you make room for them. Your energy no longer says I'm missing. It says I'm magnetizing, and in that shift, you draw on more than you can plan. Unexpected deposits. Right place, right time moments help that arise before the ask. This is the language the universe speaks, and you are fluent in it now. So allow yourself to feel wealthy before the number appears. Feel wealthy in your slowness, in your softness, in your SURENESS. Because when you feel it first, you invite it faster. Let your body be the broadcast. Let your stillness sing. Let your every exhale say, I already have it. It's already mine. It's already here. You're not waiting anymore. You are walking in resonance. Not hoping, knowing. And that knowing becomes a magnet. This is the frequency that fortune follows, and you, tonight, are the transmitter. Rest now. There is nothing left to do, only something beautiful to continue becoming. As you sleep, you hum the melody of abundance. It travels through dreams, through your field, through the spaces where new riches are already forming. And when you wake, they will begin to arrive, softly, naturally, just like this moment, because wealth was always listening for your stillness. And now it hears you clearly. It begins softly, like the first breath after holding too long. A release, a remembering that you are not here to strive for worthiness. You are here to rest in it. Tonight, we begin in the quietest corner of your soul, where a belief is lived quiet, but heavy. There is a ceiling, a limit, a too much point beyond which you're no longer allowed to receive. You may not have seen it with your eyes, but you've felt it in your body, the way you hesitated before asking for more, the way your stomach tightened when things got too good, the way a voice inside whispered, don't get greedy, stay small, be grateful for what you have, as if having more would make you less. But tonight you learn that ceiling was never real. It was built from borrowed thoughts, inherited rules, passed down patterns from those who couldn't see the sky for the roof over their heads. You were made for sky. So let's breathe that in now. Inhale, long, slow, deep, filling your ribs with new space. Exhale, slower still, letting go of every limit that was never yours. Feel the air move through you, not as proof you're worthy, but as evidence you always were. There is nothing you need to do tonight, no success to earn, no prize to chase, only this to remember that you were never meant to live under glass. Imagine now a little version of you, still soft with wonder, eyes wide, palms open to life. That little you did not ask, have I done enough to deserve joy? Have I proven myself worthy of ease? Have I struggled hard enough to be loved? They simply received, playfully, freely, abundantly. That innocence still lives in you. It's just been muffled by noise from a world that measures worth by exhaustion, status by stress, value by visibility. But you are not a number. You are not your productivity. You are not your pace. You are presence. And presence is always enough. Say it softly, if only inside. I am not here to earn my place. I am not here to justify my joy. I am already enough, simply by being. Let the words fall like petals on your skin. You may have been told otherwise, perhaps by a teacher, a parent, a society that forgot its own soul. But the truth was always this: enoughness is not a finish line. It's your starting point. Let's imagine something now. You are walking through a wide, open field. There is no ceiling here, just sky stretching infinitely, and with every step, The air feels lighter. You begin to notice something odd. The moment you stop bracing for disappointment, beauty starts to gather. A breeze wraps around your body. A bird lands nearby. Golden light pulls at your feet, and you feel it, not the rush of chasing more, but the deep peace of knowing you were always allowed to receive. The ceiling you feared was never in the sky. It lived in your nervous system, tense from years of scarcity, shaped by the idea that too much joy is dangerous, that too much wealth is arrogant, that too much of you is too much, but it isn't, and you aren't single quotes T. So now, gently, picture your nervous system as a home, and you are opening. Windows that were once nailed shut. Light comes in. Air stirs. Possibility dances like distant sunbeams. You do not need permission. You are the permission. Feel your body relax into that. Let your back sink deeper into the bed. Your hands unclench. Your brow smooth. You are not waiting anymore. You are welcoming. Let go of the lie that more for you means less for someone else. There is no scarcity in the infinite, and your joy does not steal. It signals what is possible for others to now in this restful space. Repeat with breath. There is no ceiling above me. Only sky, only stars, only expansion. Let the words stretch your energy wide. Like wings you forgot you had. This chapter, this night, is not about fixing. It's about remembering that the self who needs more is not greedy, she is healing. That the self who wants rest is not lazy, she is returning. That the self who desires more than just survival is not selfish, she is finally listening, because somewhere in your story the world asked you to shrink so it could feel safe around your light. But your light isn't a threat, it's a signal to the universe, to your dreams, to every piece of abundance that's been circling, waiting for you to say, I'm ready, not because I proved myself, but because I remembered myself. You were never meant to be small, only soft, only open, only receptive. Now feel this in your chest, a gentle pulsing, like the rhythm of your heart beating out the truth. I am enough. I have always been enough. And there's no ceiling above what I can become. Let your body rest in that. Let your cells memorize it, because worthiness is not a concept. It is a condition of being alive tonight. You unlearn every voice that said otherwise, and you replace it with the silence of space, vast, endless, listening. It hears you now. And it sends back echoes. You are welcome here. You are safe here. You are worthy here. Sleep, then. Not as escape, but as invitation, because this rest is not running away. It is rising into your wholeness, and as you fall deeper into it, you may begin to feel something stirring, the next thought, the next opening, the next remembrance. If I've always been enough, then how might life begin to respond now that I finally believe it? It starts with the faintest whisper. Like the first golden thread of light across the morning sky, a thought so soft, you almost miss it. I deserve, not shouted, not declared. Just breathed, quiet and true. Let it live there for a moment, in your chest, between your ribs. A gentle truth waking up. Tonight, we explore that whisper. We follow it deeper. We allow it to echo, because your energy field, your vibration, is always echoing what you believe you deserve. And life, ever responsive, sends back a matching sound when you believe in scraps. Life reflects scarcity when you believe in effort. Lone, life reflects struggle. But when you gently, quietly believe in worth, life begins to give without force. So tonight, we soften our way into I deserve. Breathe in slow and full. Breathe out long and gentle. You do not need to earn this belief. You only need to make space for it. Now imagine a still lake at dusk. The water calm. The surface smooth. You lean close and whisper into it. I deserve rest. I deserve love. I deserve ease. And those words ripple outward. The lake hears you and begins to echo them back. Your world is that lake, reflective, listening, responsive. When you plant the seeds of self-worth, the water begins to shimmer. But new returns. Now consider, where did you learn to question what you deserve? Was it in childhood, when you were praised for pleasing but not for being? Was it from systems that measured your value in grades, gold stars, or promotions? Was it from people who feared your light because it reminded them of their own shadow wherever? The message came from, know this, you are not bound to that story. You can write a new one. Not with perfection, but with presence. With presence. And the new story begins like this. I do not need to struggle to be worthy. I do not need to suffer to receive. I do not need to shrink to deserve space. Let those words roll over you like warm rain. There is no effort here, only remembering you were always the one the blessings were searching for. You just forgot you had the key. And the key is the soft vibration of I deserve. Let's anchor it now, not with loudness, but with breath. Inhale, I belong to joy. Exhale, joy belongs to me. Inhale, I am open to receiving. Exhale, receiving is open to me. Feel how gently these truths land. They do not demand, they invite. This is how your nervous system learns. Not through pressure, but through repetition and safety. You are creating safety now. With every breath, you build a new resonance, a song that wealth, love, and peace can follow. Imagine yourself standing in a golden orchard. The trees are full, heavy with fruit, and there is no fence, no lock, no sign that says for others only. You walk in, barefoot, barehearted, and a low wind moves through the leaves like a voice saying, it's all been waiting for you. Not because you proved yourself, but because you finally showed up as someone who believes she belongs. You reach up, pick a fruit, taste it. It is sweet, effortless, nourishing. And the moment you stop second-guessing whether you're allowed to enjoy it, something shifts. The orchard grows larger. The air gets brighter. The trees lean closer because life responds not to neediness, but to worthiness. Let that settle. You do not attract what you chase. You attract what you believe is already yours. And tonight you believe not with force, but with softness. The echo is changing. The old echo said, who am I to have this? The new echo says, who am I not to? The old echo said, maybe if I do more, I'll deserve it. The new echo says, I deserve it even when I do less. This new frequency is quiet, but it is powerful. And the more you rest in it, the more life bends to meet you. So say it now in your mind, your breath, your energy. I deserve the good that flows to me. I deserve it without apology. I deserve it even when I'm resting. Feel your body relax, as if every cell is hearing the message. And finally, green. Now let your energy become still. You are no longer pushing the river. You are letting it come to you. And in that surrender, in that peace, the field vibrates back. It says, yes, you do. You always have. Sleep now in that truth. You do not need to hold it tightly. Just breathe it in until it becomes part of your dreaming. And as you drift, as your breath slows, a quiet question stirs inside you. If I deserve becomes the echo of my life, what new things might begin to answer back? The night is thick with stillness now, a hush like velvet drawn over your thoughts. Your breath is soft, your body slack with trust, and your field glowing quietly with a new kind of truth. You no longer wonder if you're enough, you feel it. And in this chapter, you begin to witness what happens when life starts reflecting that truth back to you. Because everything in your external world, every opportunity, every relationship, every surprise is a mirror, and it mirrors not just your thoughts, but your self-permission. This is the secret. Life doesn't give you what you beg for. It gives you what you believe you already are. So breathe that in, not as pressure, but as possibility. Tonight, you rest inside your enoughness, and life begins to take its cue. Picture yourself now walking through a soft field at sunrise. Each blade of grass bends gently under your feet, not resisting, but receiving. This is how life greets you when your energy says, I belong here. And everything starts to shift, not suddenly, not loudly, but gently, like the slow unfurling of light over the hills. Because when you feel enough, you stop chasing proof. You stop molding yourself for others. You stop waiting for someone to say, now you may. Receive, you begin to receive, because you've said it to yourself. And life listens. Watch now as the world begins to echo that back. A message appears unexpected, kind, timely. An idea forms rich, exciting, deeply you. A stranger offers help or praise or partnership. Not because you pushed, but because your field finally matched the invitation. This is coherence. This is alignment. You are no longer leaking energy into fear. You are holding it in worth. And that worth whispers, you're allowed to be seen. You're allowed to be chosen. You're allowed to feel full without apology. Now feel that echo take shape. Inhale, I am already the one. Exhale, and life is catching up to that truth. Let your nervous system absorb that, like roots drinking in gentle rain. Because the truth is this, the moment you stop waiting for enoughness, the universe stops waiting too. It begins moving fast and quiet on your behalf. Not because you changed everything externally, but because you finally came home to yourself. Now, imagine Your life 6 months from this moment, not louder, not busier, but more beautiful. You live slower, but things come quicker. You try less, but receive more. Because everything around you is responding to the new tone within you. You are no longer attracting from lack. You are magnetizing from wholeness. This is the gift of enoughness. It creates space. It says to the field, there's room here for blessings. And the field responds, here they come. You no longer need to rehearse who to be. You just are. You no longer ask if you're doing it right. You just listen, and in that listening, life begins to speak back in the language of alignment. Feel that now as you settle deeper into the mattress. As your body sinks like a stone into the quiet sea of rest, life is mirroring your softness. Life is bending to your permission. Life is arriving to match what you've decided to become. And you have become someone who lets it be easy, who lets it be kind, who lets it come without drama or delay. So tonight, say this with your energy. No need for words. I no longer chase. One choose. I no longer beg. I become. I no longer wait to be enough. I already am. And the world nods back. Your inbox begins to hold miracles. Your days begin to hold more light. Your mind begins to hold fewer limits because you've changed the broadcast, and the universe is always listening. This is what it means to be the source. Not in control, but in resonance. You have nothing to prove, no one to convince, nothing left to earn. Only this, to be, to feel, to rest, and to allow. Feel how clean that is, how peaceful, how magnetic. The more you rest, the more arrives. The more you soften, the more comes into view. The more you stop trying to be more, the more you receive. Because enoughness isn't passive, it's powerful. It tells life exactly where to deliver what's meant for you. So let your body hum with that. Not loud, just steady, just sure. And as you drift now deeper into this field of knowing, you might begin to wonder if this is what life feels like when I believe I'm enough. What new forms of abundance might find me in my dreams tonight? It begins with a breath. Slow, wide, releasing the weight of urgency. Let it go. You've carried it for too long. That quiet ache that says, do more. That invisible hand on your back that keeps pushing. That tired voice inside that whispers, you haven't done enough yet. Tonight, we dissolve that story. Gently, lovingly, completely. Because somewhere in your past, you were taught that effort equals worth. That only the exhausted deserve to receive. That rest must be earned. That blessings only come to those who break themselves for it. This chapter unpacks that myth, the myth of the hustle field. You see, the hustle field is not a place, it's a pattern. A tension in the body, a frequency in the field. It tightens your breath, it narrows your focus. It makes you believe that success only listens to shouting, but the truth is softer than that. Wiser than that. Success listens best to stillness. So breathe. Breathe like you no longer need to fight for your place in the flow. Inhale, as if you trust there's already room for you. Exhale, as if you know it will all come in perfect time. Now feel the difference. There's a field inside you, not the hustle field, but the harmony field. And the harmony field is where attraction happens, not through force, but through frequency. Let's say that again, slower. Not through force, but through frequency. You do not magnetize what you push for. You magnetize what you rest into. And the nervous system, your beautiful internal compass, knows this better than your mind ever could. When your body feels safe, your field opens. Your heart softens. Your mind becomes a tuning fork for higher ideas, better timing, and unseen support. But when you're braced, when you're hustling, your energy becomes tight, rigid, propelling. That's why things often come right after you stop chasing them. Not because you gave up, but because you let go of the resistance. Now close your eyes and picture this. You are standing in a wide green meadow. The air is quiet, the sky open. You are not running. You are not strategizing. You are simply standing, breathing, being, and from the edges of the field, things begin to move toward you. Ideas, opportunities, unexpected blessings. They begin to float your way slowly, steadily, because you are still enough for them to land. This is the law of resonance. This is the truth the hustle field hides. You attract best when you are relaxed. You attract fastest when you are in peace. You attract most when your energy is clean, clear, and calm. Let's feel that now. Inhale. I don't need to force. Exhale. I let it come. Inhale. Action can be sacred, not stressful. Exhale. My stillness is magnetic. It's magnetic. And let that truth ripple through your body. soft gold. Ease is not laziness, it's clarity. Ease is not avoidance, it's alignment. When you act from ease, you act from the part of you that already knows it's supported. And the universe can feel that difference. You can take all the same steps, launch the thing, send the message, make the move. But when your state is easy, your results flow faster. That's because the universe is not responding to your emotion. It's responding to your emotion. So tonight, we rewrite the inner code. No more associating exhaustion with virtue. No more tying your value to your volume of output. No more worshiping busyness as a sign that you're doing it right. Instead, we let the body become a lighthouse, steady, glowing, effortless, not chasing ships, just radiating, and trusting that the right ships know exactly where to find you. Can you feel that shift? Now let's walk it in. Imagine your life if you led with ease. How would you move? How would you speak? How would you create? How would you receive? Can you feel the softness of it? Not rushed, not chaotic, just clean, just connected. Because here's the truth. Your next level is not locked behind a harder grind. It's waiting at the frequency of trust. And the more you trust, the less you need to prove. And the less you prove, the more you receive. Ease opens the field. It expands your awareness. It lifts your mood. It places you in the perfect position to catch what's been circling you all along. So let's say it one more time. I do not need to hustle to deserve. I am most magnetic when I am at peace. My energy is enough. My frequency is the invitation. And the invitation is being answered. Even now, even here, even in your sleep. Rest is not passive. It's potent. So let your body go soft. Let your breath grow slow. Let your mind float in the calm knowing you are no longer in the hustle field. You are in the harmony field now. And everything you've ever wanted is already on its way, not because you chased it, but because you finally slowed down enough to receive it. It begins with a feeling, not of longing, not of lack, but of quiet knowing, a soft hum beneath your ribs, a whisper in your breath. It's already on its way. Tonight, we rest inside that vibration. We breathe it in. We let it cradle our thoughts. Because the law of attraction doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to vibration. And the vibration that changes everything is the one that doesn't wait in fear, but rests in faith. You no longer chase, you calibrate. You no longer ask when, you affirm. Now, not with pressure, not with impatience, but with presence. So let's begin here. Breathe. Feel the air arrive enforced, unhurried. It knows how to come, just like everything else that's meant for you. Breathe again. Let this next inhale be a signal to every unseen force around you. I am ready without needing. I am aligned without effort. I am magnetic even in stillness. And now exhale. Let go of every timeline you once gripped too tightly. Let go of every outcome you tried to control. Let go of the belief that miracles are earned. They are not. They are received. And they are always already on their way. Imagine now your desire is a star. High above, steady, sure, but not distant, not unreachable, just on its path. You don't scream at the sky to bring it closer. You don't beg the stars to arrive faster. You simply watch the light. You simply believe it's meant for you. That is the frequency of already on its way. It is the most magnetic field you can live inside. Feel how different it is from wanting. Wanting says, I don't have it yet. Knowing says it's already in motion. Wanting waits at the door, pacing. Knowing curls up by the fire. Wanting watches the clock. Knowing watches the stars. And you, tonight, you choose knowing because everything is already rearranging for you. The phone call, the idea, the check, the shift. All of it is being lined up by a field that responds to how you feel in this moment. So soften, not to give up, but to draw in. Soften your jaw, soften your shoulders, soften your need to figure it all out. There is a version of you already living what you're calling in. And that version of you, she doesn't rush, she doesn't panic. She walks slowly because she knows what's hers is finding her even. Now feel that, not as fantasy, but as frequency. Now imagine a radio dial. You're tuning away from static, away from the noise of doubt and into the station of certainty. You don't need to shout to be heard. You only need to hold the note. And the note sounds like this. I already have it. I already feel it. It's already coming. This is not pretending. It's preparing. It's priming the field because energy doesn't respond to your calendar. It responds to your clarity. And tonight, your clarity is luminous. You're no longer leaking energy into questions like how or when. You are gathering power by staying in the yes of belief, the yes of calm, the yes of your future already being formed. So lie back now, deeper. Sink into the bed like a wave returning to the ocean. No striving, no searching, just allowing. Your job is no longer to hold it all together. Your job is to hold the vibration of already being supported. And you are supported by timing, supported by intelligence, supported by a universe that knows what to do with a heart as open as yours. So listen not for answers, but for alignment. The soft yes in your chest, the warmth that spreads when you say, I don't have to rush this, because when you say that, you let the field breathe, and when the field breathes, it delivers. Tonight is not a night of wishing, it is a night of welcoming. You are not hoping, you are hosting, and the energy that visits you in this resting place carries the blueprint of all you've asked for. Let it wash over you now, not just the image of what you want, but the sensation of already having it. Feel how you breathe when you know the answer is yes. Feel how you smile when you know you are met. Feel how you rest when you know nothing is missing. Let your cells memorize this. Let your heartbeat calibrate to it. This is your new frequency, not the frequency of getting, but of receiving. Not the energy of striving, but of arriving. And even as you drift into deeper stillness, you might hear a gentle whisper moving through your field saying, if I live like it's already on its way, then maybe I no longer need to ask. Because the answer has already begun. It begins with quiet, a space inside your chest that no longer searches, no longer strains, no longer knocks on locked doors. Tonight, you stop chasing the answer, and you let the answer find you. This isn't surrender that gives up, it's surrender that opens. You become the clearing, the calm between waves, filled with no fences, and into that open space, life begins to speak. Because answers don't come to noise, they come to stillness, and so you rest, not because the work is over, but because the signal is clear. Your body is the receiver, and now it's tuned. Breathe in. Feel how good it feels not to search. Breathe out. Feel how rare it is to trust, but you do. Because something inside you knows the clearest guidance never shouts. It whispers. And it can only whisper when you are listening. So tonight, you become the listener. You become the space, and into that space, the answers arrive. Not just ideas, not just steps, but comfort. And comfort is a kind of knowing. Imagine you are in a room. Sunlight filters in through soft curtains. The air is warm. Your shoulders are bare. There is no urgency here, just presence. And in the center of that room sits a book. It holds the answer you've been seeking. You don't rush toward it. You simply notice. You let it come to you. You hold it when it's time. And the pages turn by themselves. This is the feeling of ease. This is the shape of receiving. You don't need to search harder. You need to soften longer. Soften until you become the invitation. Because what you want wants you. It doesn't need a chase. It needs a place. And you are becoming that place. The place where clarity lands. The place where answers root. The place where next steps unfold like petals, not puzzles. Let yourself receive that. Let yourself be that. Not by force, but by allowing. Let your nervous system exhale. Let your breath remind your body that all is well, even without a plan, even without proof. Because in this state, answers don't come from logic. They come from alignment. And alignment feels like this. Soft jaw, warm belly, loose hands. Heart beating not to fix, but to feel. You are no longer trying to be strategic. You are becoming symphonic. Every part of you, a note that sings I trust. And in that song, a door opens. Not one you made, one that appears, and the answer walks through. Perhaps it's an email. Perhaps it's an idea. Perhaps it's just a knowing that you no longer need to ask the question. Just need to follow the peace, because peace is a compass, and tonight it points inward. You follow the path that feels like yes, like ease, like softness that glows. You follow the feeling that asks nothing from you and yet gives everything. The answer has found you. Not because you forced it, but because you made room for it. This is the art of receptive living. This is the nervous system of the magnet. And tonight you sleep not as a seeker, but as one who has already been found. And in that soft dark, as your body drifts, final question hovers in the space between dreams. If you never had to search, again, only listen, only rest, only follow the yes, how much more beautiful might life become? It begins like breath, a single, quiet thought drifting in so light you almost don't notice it. I am safe. The thought doesn't need to be true. Yet, it only needs to be heard, because not every thought becomes a belief. Only the ones you return to, only the ones you breathe into. Breathe into. Belief is not lightning, it is rhythm, it is not loud, it is layered into night. You begin to understand belief is built, like a fire, like a garden, like trust. You are not here to force belief, you are here to feel it form gently, softly, word by word, breath by breath. Your body listens to what you repeat, and repetition is not mindless. It is biological. Every time you think a thought, your brain responds. It sends a chemical pulse, a signal to the rest of you. If you think the same thought tomorrow, the signal gets stronger. The connection grows sturdier, and eventually the thought becomes a path, a road your nervous system walks without hesitation. This is how thoughts become beliefs, through consistency, through emotion, through your body's agreement. So breathe, because tonight you are beginning a gentle construction. You are not forcing a belief into place, you are laying down each plank with love. Start with this: I am allowed to feel calm. Let that thought float in, no need to hold it tightly. Just watch it arrive, then breathe again. Feel your body's response. Maybe it resists, maybe it relaxes, maybe it does both. That's okay. Belief is not about immediate obedience. It is about gradual agreement. Let your body consider the thought. Let it try it on like a soft coat. Now another thought. Good things can come easily to me. Feel how that one lands, where it expands, where it bumps. Don't judge the reaction, just observe. Just stay, because staying is what turns a thought into a friend. And tonight, you begin making friends with better thoughts, not because you need to be positive, but because you want to be peaceful. Belief grows in peace. Imagine you are building a fire. The flame is small. You cup it with your hands. You shield it from the wind of doubt. You feed it only dry, tender wood, thoughts that warm you, thoughts that serve you, thoughts that soothe. You do not throw logs of panic onto the flame. You do not yell at it to grow. You tend it, and it responds. This is belief, not a command, but a collaboration. Your mind speaks, your body replies, and when both say yes, that yes becomes your signal, a signal the universe can follow. Frequency your field begins to emit, even in sleep. So tonight, you practice gentle repetition. Affirmations shouted, but truths whispered. Try this, it's safe for me to rest. My worth is not measured by effort. Something beautiful is already on its way. Say them with your body, say them with your breath, say them with your stillness. Because belief is not just words, it is chemistry. Every calming thought lowers cortisol. Every comforting idea sends oxytocin. Every hopeful whisper lights the circuitry of possibility. And your body loves this. It remembers how to hope. It remembers how to feel safe. It remembers how to be well. And all of this starts with a thought that breathes. So let your next breath be an invitation. Body, let's believe something better tonight. Not because we must, but because we can. Not because the past demands it, but because the future desires it. And in this quiet, as your body loosens and your breath deepens, a new signal forms. One of trust, one of receiving, one of becoming someone who lets belief be easy. And in that softness, this truth, the brain changes. With repetition, the nervous system relaxes with kindness, and the soul responds to safety. So let the fire grow. Let your new thoughts become embers. Let your breath be the bellows. Let your sleep be the ceremony. You are not forcing a belief tonight. You are feeding it. And when you wake, you may not remember the words, but your body will remember the warmth. The warmth of knowing, I am safe, I am becoming, I am allowed to believe. And belief will begin building the bridge from this quiet moment to everything you've asked for. It begins not with willpower, but with a shift in chemistry. Confidence isn't ego, it's not performance. It's not pretending you have it all together. Confidence is a biological state, a rhythm your body remembers, a frequency your brain can tune into, if you give it the right signals. So tonight, we don't build confidence like armor, we cultivate it like breath. Let your shoulders drop, let your eyes soften, let your nervous system slowly step into the room. Because this is where confidence lives, not in proving, but in presence. Let's begin with oxytocin. It's called the love hormone, but it's really a safety switch when your body feels connected to yourself, to others, to life. Oxytocin rises, And with it comes calm. From calm comes courage. So picture now a moment when you felt safe, not big, not flashy, just safe. Maybe wrapped in a blanket, maybe hearing a familiar voice, maybe standing alone in the early sun. Let your body remember that. And as you breathe, feel oxytocin begin to stir. You're not imagining it, you're activating it because your body doesn't know the difference between memory and reality. So the more you dwell in safety, the more your chemistry shifts, and with that shift comes space. Space to move, to speak, to try, to trust. Now we add dopamine, not the kind that spikes, but the kind that flows. Dopamine rises when you anticipate joy, when you take a small step, when you feel a little hope. It rewards you. You don't need a finish line, you just need forward. So think of one thing you're proud of, one tiny win, one soft yes. Feel the warmth that brings. Let it spiral up your spine. That's dopamine. That's your biology saying keep going. And this is the core of confidence, safety plus momentum. Oxytocin says you're okay now. Dopamine says you're becoming more. And together, they create a current, a chemistry of confidence. Not perfection, not certainty, just movement, just trust. Let your breath keep time. Inhale, I am safe. Exhale, I am growing. Repeat it, not for your mind, for your body. Because belief lives in breath, and confidence lives in repetition. Let serotonin join you now, the hormone of inner balance. Serotonin rises when you feel meaningful, when you feel like you matter, not to everyone, just to yourself. So, place your hand over your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. It beats for you. It beats because of you. You matter. Let that truth dissolve any tightness in your chest. Let it remind you you don't need an audience to feel aligned. Confidence begins in solitude, and then it walks with you into the world. Let it walk with you now, not as a mask, not as a performance, but as a chemistry you return to, a state your body trusts even as you sleep. It continues to wire, neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you revisit this state, every time you soften into safety, celebrate a tiny win, or whisper that you matter, your brain listens. It strengthens the path. It makes the signal louder. And soon confidence won't feel like effort, will feel like home. So rest now in the soft power of knowing. You don't need to wait to feel ready. You only need to feel real. And real is enough. Let that be your chemistry. Tonight, let that be your biology of belief. Confidence is not a personality, it is a practice. And you are already doing it. You are safe, you are moving, you matter. Sleep inside that signal, and let it become your steady hum. It begins in silence, not in your thoughts, but in your cells. Because belief does not end in the mind. It travels, it echoes, it lands. Tonight, we explore the truth your body already knows. You become what you repeatedly believe, not because of magic, but because of biology. So let's begin where all change begins, with a breath. Inhale gently. Let your body settle. Feel the breath enter your ribs, your chest, your back, as if the air itself is whispering everything you believe about yourself. I carry it forward, because breath is how the body listens. Your heart is not separate from your thoughts. Your muscles are not separate from your moods. Your immune system, your hormones, your skin, your sleep, they all respond to the stories you tell. So what story are you telling now? Pause. Let your body answer. Does it tighten at certain words? Does it soften when you think, I am okay? These are not small responses. These are your cells agreeing or disagreeing with belief. Let us go deeper. Science tells us this. The thoughts you think trigger chemical messengers. Those messengers influence your body's behavior, neuropeptides, hormones, neurotransmitters. They create patterns. Think a fearful thought. Your body prepares to defend. Think a peaceful thought. Your body prepares to receive. Again and again, this loop runs, and over time, the loop becomes a life. But tonight, you pause the loop, not to erase it, but to redirect it. You begin sending new signals, not just from your mind, but through your entire system. Breathe. Imagine each inhale as belief being delivered. Imagine each exhale as resistance leaving the field. Now speak softly to yourself, no need for volume. I am allowed to feel good. My body trusts me. I can rest in who I'm becoming. Repeat slowly. Again, and as you do, feel the shift not just in thought, but in tissue. Feel your jaw loosen. Feel your hands warm. Feel your belly begin to glow with quiet. This is what it means for the body to believe. Not to obey your mind with force, but to resonate with it in rhythm. You are no longer commanding. You are harmonizing. And harmony feels like health, like energy, like lightness without caffeine, clarity without anxiety. Imagine now your cells glowing as if each one is a tiny sun responding to the warmth of belief. This isn't fantasy, it's frequency. Your body has memory, your body has ears, and when belief is steady, the body follows. Now picture a garden inside you. Some seeds were planted long ago. I'm not enough. Nothing works out. I have to struggle to burn rest. But you are the gardener now. You don't yank the old roots. You simply plant new ones beside them. With each thought like, I am enough as I am. Support is safe. Goodness can come gently. You plant and water with breath, with repetition, with presence, and you wait. Not passively, but patiently. Because even the smallest roots will spread if the soil is safe. Let your body be that soil tonight. Let your sleep be the water. Let your beliefs be the sun. There is no rush. Only return. You return. Over and over to the truth that the body becomes what it believes. So what if you let it believe in joy? What if you let it believe in receiving? What if you let it believe you are already enough? Even now, your heartbeat shifts just slightly, as if it's answering, maybe that's true. Let the maybe be enough tonight. Let the possibility land. You don't have to feel all the way there. You only have to feel the direction, because belief isn't perfection, belief is motion. And your motion tonight is inward, into warmth, into openness, into alignment. You become the match for what you want by being the body that can hold it. And holding starts with how you hold yourself. So do it now gently, fully, lovingly. Hold yourself in this breath. Hold yourself in this moment. Hold yourself in the knowing that what you believe matters, not just in spirit, but in structure. Your biology is listening, your future is forming, and your body is becoming. But your beliefs are beginning to say, as you drift deeper, let this final whisper carry you. If I believe I'm safe, if I believe I'm worthy, if I believe I'm ready, then everything inside me can begin to agree. It begins in the center of you, not in your thoughts, not in your plans, but in a quiet space behind your breastbone, your heart. Not the symbol, not the idea, the organ. The frequency, the field. It beats before you ever speak. It listens before you ever think. And tonight you return to it, not as a ritual, as a reunion, because while the mind tries to manifest, the heart knows how to attract. Your heart is electric. It is magnetic. Its field extends far beyond your skin. When it is coherent, when its rhythm is smooth, when its emotions are aligned, it sends a signal. Not just to your body, but to the field around you. Let's begin with breath, not from the mind, but from the heart. Place your palm gently over your chest. Feel its warmth, its quiet rhythm. Breathe in slowly through your nose, and as you do, imagine you are breathing into your heart. Hold for a moment. Now exhale softly through your mouth. Again, inhale to your heart. Exhale from your heart. This is coherence, not intensity, not force, just harmony between what you feel and how you breathe. Let it soften you. You don't need to know everything tonight. You only need to feel something true. So let's invite a gentle emotion in. Not because it fixes everything, but because it changes the signal. Try gratitude. Not the performance of it, but the memory. Remember one moment, even the smallest one, when you felt love, safety, joy. Breathe that moment into your heart. Let it spread. Let it color the edges of your being. With each breath, this emotion becomes a vibration. And that vibration is now moving beyond your body, because the heart's field is not imaginary. It is measurable. And in this moment, yours is radiating clarity. You are not visualizing. You are synchronizing. And from this place, you ask for nothing. You become the thing that calls. You do not manifest by thinking hard. You attract by feeling soft. Soften more now. Let your heart be the lighthouse. Let it beam out this coherence, this safety, this subtle joy. It becomes your signature. It becomes your invitation. And all that matches it begins to stir. Imagine now your desire floating gently in the field, not far away, just unanchored, waiting for your signal. And this heart coherence, this wave of emotion and breath and presence, this is the signal it responds to. Let that knowing melt through you. You do not need to deserve. You do not need to strive. You only need to attune. The heart doesn't rush. It doesn't beg. It beats. And that beat is your rhythm of receiving. So stay here. Breathe here. Inhale love. Exhale doubt. Inhale peace. Exhale proving. Inhale trust. exhale effort, you are not just calming your mind, you are training your field. And that field, the magnetic field of your heart, is not passive. It organizes your body. It influences your brain. It shapes your decisions. And yes, it attracts, but only what matches its rhythm. So if you want abundance, become soft enough to receive it. If you want love, become still enough to sense it. If you want ease, let your heart slow the pace, because your heart is always honest, even when your thoughts are loud. It will never lie to you. It will never rush you. It will only ask, do you feel what you desire? Not someday, but now. And if the answer is yes, then the field aligns, the body relaxes, the mind clears, and reality shifts. So tonight, this is your practice, not to plan, but to pulse, not to demand, but to resonate, not to reach, but to receive. Because the frequency you send is the frequency that answers, and the soft rhythm of your heart right now is enough. Let it guide you to sleep. Let it sing to your future. Let it pulse so that every part of you remembers you don't attract from the head. You attract from the heart, and your heart is already open, already beating, already calling what's meant for you. Home, there is a quiet truth the world often forgets. You do not attract what you think. You attract what you feel, and not just what you feel occasionally, but what your body returns to over like a favorite song humming beneath your breath. Tonight, you come home to the feeling. Let your breath lead, not deep, not forced, just easy, just slow, just now. Each inhale is a doorway, each exhale is a clearing. You are making space for feeling. Not emotion as drama, but emotion as guidance. Imagine your feelings as colors in a field. Gratitude glows gold, love spreads, soft rose light, peace shimmers in silvery blue, joy sparkles like warm ember. Can you see the field around you shift as you shift inside? This is not imagination, it is resonance, because your heart's electromagnetic field responds to feeling, and that feeling becomes your frequency. It becomes the call your world answers. So now, instead of asking, what do I want, you ask, what would it feel like if it were already mine? No need to get every detail right. The universe doesn't respond to detail, it responds to energy. So feel the scene not with your mind's eye, but with your nervous system. What does it feel like to walk into the life you've been asking for? Not tomorrow, now. Can you feel the ease in your shoulders, the quiet certainty in your breath, the calm in your jaw, knowing nothing is missing? This feeling is the seed, and feelings are fluent in vibration. They tell the truth before words do. They carry signals before plans are made. They shape choices without effort. So tonight, we don't repeat thoughts, we rehearse feelings. Let's begin with one, safety. Let it rise. Where in your body does safety live? Is it warmth in the belly, stillness in the spine, the absence of tension in your face? Let it spread, no rush. Then let it flow into worthiness, not as a sentence, but as a sensation. Worthy feels like no tightening, no proving, no racing to catch up. Just being, just resting, just knowing, I belong here. Let that feeling anchor you now. You are not just lying in your bed. You are lying in alignment. And alignment is always emotional before it is practical. Let your frequency rise gently, naturally, like light gathering before sunrise. Not because you must, because you cannot feel now for abundance. Not the number, not the outcome, but the felt sense of I have enough, I am enough. What would that feel like? Is it the breath that expands your chest without pressure? Is it the way your face softens when there is nothing to solve? That feeling is the match, and like attracts like. You do not need to convince the world. You only need to tune your energy. The world cannot resist coherence. The things you desire already exist in a matching frequency. You are not creating them from scratch. You are becoming able to receive them through the portal of feeling. Breathe now and scan for one more feeling. Ease. Ease is not laziness. Ease is the natural rhythm of things that are aligned. A river flowing, a leaf drifting, breath falling into your chest at just the right speed. Feel ease, even if it's small, even if it's a single softened finger, a jaw released, a thought not pushed. Ease is a feeling and a frequency, and once it becomes familiar, it becomes your home. And once it is your home, your desires know how to find you. They don't need your blueprint, they need your openness. So tonight, let feeling be enough. Let your inner atmosphere become magnetic. As your breath steadies, as your body relaxes, as your field expands quietly, you begin radiating your request, not through demand, but through vibration. And and the universe listens. It always has. Even now, it's arranging. Not because of your effort, but because of your energy, because feeling is the frequency, and you are finally feeling your way home. There is a signal within you. It doesn't come from the words you say. It doesn't come from the vision board or the perfect affirmation. It comes from the feeling you've rehearsed so many times that your body now believes. It's real. It's called coherence, not perfection. Not pretending, just emotional truth gently aligned with your breath, your heartbeat, your presence. Tonight, you become that signal. Start with stillness, not because it's fancy, but because it's clear. Close your eyes not to shut out the world, but to see what's already true inside you. There's a quiet rhythm here, a pulse, a warmth, a knowing. Let your breath follow that rhythm. Inhale slowly, and let your chest open like a flower. Exhale gently, like petals relaxing into trust. This is how the signal is tuned. You are not trying to impress the universe. You are trying to tell the truth, and the truest truth is this: love and life respond to coherence. Not loudness, not hustle, not noise, but presence. So ask yourself softly, now, what is the signal I'm sending? When I say nothing at all, is it trust? Is it fear? Is it hope? Wrapped in anxiety? Or is it a peaceful openness that says, I'm ready for what's already mine? You don't have to get it right. You just have to get real. Let your emotions align gently now. Picture your heart like a calm, glowing lantern. Each emotion you harmonize. Gratitude, ease, trust, joy becomes another wick lighting up within. This is emotional coherence. This is the signal. And love recognizes it. Opportunities recognize it. Healing recognizes it. Because coherence creates clarity in your field. Now imagine walking into a room, carrying that glowing coherence with you. You don't need to speak. Your energy says it all. I am safe. I am enough. I am open. I am already holding the feeling of the life I desire. This isn't fiction. It's resonance. Because just like a tuning fork makes another tuning fork vibrate, your coherent field begins to entrain everything around it. Not by force, but by frequency. You don't chase, you invite. You don't plead, you pulse. You don't cling, you harmonize. So tonight, breathe again and feel the energy you're becoming. This is not about getting something. It's about becoming someone whose energy tells a clear story. And that story is, I already carry the love I seek. I already radiate the ease I want. I already feel the peace I thought I'd need to earn. And the world listens because all things are drawn to their match, and coherence is matchmaking energy. So soften now, let your jaw unclench, let your fingers rest, let your eyes drift, and say softly within, I am a signal of love. I am a field of trust. I am a frequency that what I desire is already drawn to. Hold that, not tightly, just like a note held softly on a violin string. Let it hum, let it carry you into sleep. Because this is not just bedtime. This is calibration. Your whole being is attuning to safety, to clarity, to receptivity. You are no longer wishing, you are becoming. And as you rest in this signal, know this: you never had to ask louder. You only had to feel deeper. And now you do. And now the universe responds. There is a version of you who already lives what you've been dreaming, not as fantasy, but as frequency, as rhythm, as breath. They are not far away. They are close. So close you could touch them if you only slowed enough to feel. And tonight you do. Begin with breath, soft, wide, welcoming. Let it rise in your belly. Let it fall with ease. No rush to change. No pressure to fix. Just space to remember. Because you are not creating this version of you from scratch. You are returning to what already exists in the field, in the timeline, in the truth of what your nervous system knows is possible. This version of you is not perfect. They're not loud. They're not performing. They are peaceful. Steady. Safe. In their own rhythm. So let's go meet them. Gently now. Imagine standing at the edge of a soft-lit hallway. It stretches before you, not in a building, but in the field of potential. Each door along this hallway is a different timeline. Each one leads to a version of you, each shaped by different beliefs, choices, frequencies. You are not lost in this hall. You are the one holding the key. So walk slowly. Feel the ground. Feel the calm. You stop at the door where the energy matches the feeling you've longed to live in. Not just the thing you want, but the way you want to feel when you have it. Is it peace, play, stability, freedom? Let your body choose the door. Let it be intuitive. Let it be yours. Now reach for the handle. but they feel different. Their face is soft, their breath is steady, their energy is not reaching its receiving. You sit with them, you breathe with them. You feel their state. Notice how their shoulders rest, how their jaw doesn't clench, how their heart beats quietly, not fast with proving, but full with peace. This version of you does not need to know the how. They live in the yes. You are not asking questions here. You are absorbing answers through presence. Let your cells match theirs. Let your posture shift. Let your energy align. This is entrainment, your system sensing to a more coherent frequency. And as you do, you begin to remember you were always allowed to feel this way. You just forgot. Let the remembering soften you. Now watch this version of you move through their life. How do they speak? How do they walk into a room? What choices do they make, not from fear, but from faith? Observe their subtle ease, their simple clarity. They are not pushing. They are pulsing, and you begin to pulse to dot because coherence is contagious. And this timeline is not locked. It is yours to step into as you match the emotional tone. It requires no effort, only embodiment. You don't need to be perfect to align. You just need to practice the feeling. So ask softly, what does it feel like to live this life? Let your breath answer. Let your belly say yes. Let your shoulders release the when. Let your eyes close the gap, because the timeline doesn't live in time. It lives in state. And state is available now. So breathe and match the joy, match the stillness, match the steadiness of the version of you who no longer wonders if it will happen. Because for them, it already has. And that feeling, that certainty, that calm anticipation, that is the bridge. You are not forcing anything to happen. You are allowing it to unfold around the version of you who is already home. Stay with them. Merge with them. Let their breath become yours. Let their trust become yours. Let their timeline become your nervous system's new normal. Because the truth is, you don't manifest from panic. You manifest from peace. And you don't get there by trying harder. You get there by becoming the one who lives as if it's already here. Because it is. Not in the calendar, but in the coherence. You're living it every time you breathe like this, relax like this, trust like this. The door is still open. You're free to return here any night, any breath, any moment your energy forgets what's possible. And each time you return, you build the bridge a little stronger until one day you wake up and the timeline doesn't feel like a vision. It feels like home. And you realize you never had to chase it. You only had to choose it. And now you have. There is a pattern. We are taught early to act first, then rest, then feel safe, then believe we've earned what we wanted. But the universe works differently. It listens not to the loudest action, but to the clearest alignment. Tonight, we reverse the pattern. We begin with alignment and let action rise only when it's the most natural next breath. Because when you're aligned, you don't act to create your timeline. You act because you're already inside it. Start here, with stillness, with quiet, with breath that asks nothing of you except presence. Breathe now into your heart. Let the breath fill you like soft light. Let it clear away the noise. You don't need to decide anything right now. You only need to become the one who already knows. And knowing lives in alignment. So what is alignment? It's not perfection. It's not positive thinking. It's when your breath, your nervous system, your emotions, and your thoughts all agree on one soft thing. I am safe to trust this moment. Let that sentence ring in your body. I am safe to trust this moment. Feel how your shoulders respond. Feel your belly settle. Feel your chest expand. This is where real movement comes from, because aligned action never feels rushed. It feels compelled from stillness, like a wave that rises without strain. Now imagine your timeline again, that quiet hallway, the door you stepped through last night, the version of you who already lives this life. Notice how they act. Not hurried, not scattered. They act with clarity, with rhythm, with timing that feels like music, not noise. This chapter is about that rhythm. It's about learning when to move and when to allow movement to come to you. Feel this. The river flows not because it tries, but because it knows the way. Your desires are already trying to reach you, but they don't follow force. They follow frequency. So tonight, we find your frequency again. Breathe softly. Feel into one thing you've been wanting to act on. A message, a change, a risk, a request. Now don't think about it. Feel about it. Does it light your body with ease or tighten you with pressure? Does it feel like a yes that rises from below your ribs? or a should that sits heavy on your chest. Your body always knows, and alignment listens. Alignment means doing only what maintains the signal, the one you crafted last night with breath, softness, and trust. Sometimes that means rest. Sometimes that means boldness, but always it means readiness from within, not fear from without. So tonight, instead of planning, you practice sensing. Sense your yes. Sense your timing. Sense your way forward, not in hours or steps or metrics, but in inner motion, alignment before action. And from here, you begin to see that your next move was never a guess. It was a remembering. Breath that became a word, a feeling that became a gesture, a desire that became something to hold. And if no action is ready yet, that's alignment too. Stillness is not failure, it is preparation. Roots grow before the tree is visible. Let yourself root here. In trust, in softness, in the timeline that already belongs to you. Your only job is to feel the timing from within. And when the time does come to act, will feel like truth, not pressure. It will feel like warmth, not panic. It will feel like flow, not push. Because alignment has always been the true starting line. And tonight you remember, you do not build the timeline by force. You enter it through coherence. You do not chase the life. You let the life unfold inside the version of you who knows how to stay ready in stillness. And that version of you, they're breathing now, they're listening now, they're already holding the key. So rest here. Feel the inner yes. Feel the action waiting to be born from the calm of your frequency. No rush. It will rise when it's time, and it will know exactly where to go. You have searched. You have studied. You have asked. You have waited. But the turning point is this. You stop being the one who seeks the path and become the one who is the path, not through mastery, but through being. Not through effort, through frequency. Tonight, that shift begins. Start here. Feel where you are, not just in body, but in energy. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not missing anything. Everything meant for you is already orbiting closer. The moment you stop chasing and start becoming. So breathe. Let the seeking dissolve. Let the timeline you've been reaching for begin to land inside you, because manifestation isn't something you reach for. It's something you relax into. Soften your breath, soften your chest, soften your thoughts, and say gently within, I am not the seeker anymore. I am the signal. I am the soil. I am the path. Feel the difference. The seeker asks, where is it? The path says, it is coming through me. The seeker watches the clock. Path follows its rhythm. The seeker performs. Path pulses. And now, so do you. You pulse the vibration of what you've chosen. You radiate it from stillness. You welcome it not as a guest, but as a natural unfolding of who you've always been. Because the timeline that feels like home is not a finish line. It is a frequency. It doesn't live in the distance. It lives in how you move through this moment. So ask softly, how does the version of me who is the path walk? How do they speak? How do they breathe before bed? How do they greet what they used to chase now? Become them. Not tomorrow. Now. Breathe like them. Rest like them. Let your spine lengthen, not from tension, but from quiet dignity. Let your heart hold the signal clear, coherent, consistent, and let the seeking dissolve. Because seeking often comes from fear, but becoming comes from truth. And your truth is, you are already enough. You are already aligned. You are already here. So let life respond to that. Let opportunities arrange themselves not around your effort, but around your essence. You don't have to beg for alignment. You only have to become aligned. And alignment happens when you release the question and begin to live the answer, not to prove, not to perform, but because it feels like peace tonight. You're not placing orders with the universe. You're becoming the address it delivers to. You are the timeline. You are the frequency. You are the place where what you ask for feels safe to land. Let that reality pulse in your breath now. Let it settle into your bones. You no longer ask, when will it come? You breathe. It's already arriving. You no longer strain for the next step. You embody the energy that brings steps to your door. Because the moment you stop chasing, you become magnetic. And the timeline you've been reaching for, the one that felt just out of reach, starts moving toward you. Because now you match it, not in thought, but in vibration. Not in planning, but in presence. Not as the seeker, but as the path. So rest now, not because there is nothing to do, but Because who you are becoming is doing more than any plan ever could. Let the timeline arrive through your softness. Let it find you in stillness. Let it settle into the truth you now carry. You are not chasing the life. You are becoming the place it calls home. There's a part of you, tucked somewhere behind your ribs or shoulders, that has been holding tight, not to joy, but to ache. Maybe you've forgotten it's even there, because some pain learns to go quiet, to live in the background like a bag you never unpacked, or tension you never questioned. But tonight, you begin to notice, gently, kindly, not to stir it up, but to let it rest. Breathe in now, not deep, just enough to say, I'm here, I'm listening. And as you exhale, imagine setting something down, not because you're erasing it, but because you're ready to stop carrying it. This is forgiveness, not as permission, not as denial, but as release. Not for them, for you, because energy that stays stuck in the past can't flow forward, and your life is asking to flow. So now, feel gently into your body. Were you holding old stories, not just memories, but reactions, tightness, imprints of what happened that you've accidentally woven into who I am? Maybe it's in the clench of your jaw when you remember a name, the shallowness of breath when a certain subject is spoken, the invisible armor you wear when trust tries to reach you. These are not flaws, they are echoes, and tonight we let the echoes fade. Start with the breath again. Let each inhale be a gentle light moving through those places. Let each exhale soften the edges. This is not about forcing release. It's about giving your body permission to no longer brace. Permission to stop rehearsing the pain as if staying hurt keeps you safe. It doesn't. But forgiveness does. Because forgiveness in its true form is freedom from the loop. It says, I no longer offer my energy to what's already done. I reclaim it for what's still becoming. So now, imagine yourself holding a heavy stone. It's warm from years of being carried. It has stories etched into it, words, images, wounds. You don't have to read them again. You don't have to relive them. Just feel the weight, acknowledge it, and when you're ready, place it down beside you, gently, with honor. You don't have to throw it. You don't have to bury it. Just no longer hold it, and feel what rises in its place. Maybe it's space, maybe it's lightness, maybe it's quiet grief for how long you've carried it. Let that feeling rise. It's okay to feel the cost, because feeling it is how you stop paying it, and you've paid enough. Breathe. Let that breath be the first you've taken without that particular weight in yours. Let your shoulders respond. Let your neck soften. Let your spine gently uncoil from the pose of defense. This is not weakness. This is restoration. You are not condoning what hurt you. You are just choosing not to live. From it, you're choosing to live. From what's next. And that choice, it's magnetic, because the law of attraction responds to your now. Not your past, not your blame, not your bruises, but your frequency. And forgiveness changes your frequency by untying you from what you no longer want to broadcast. So tonight, every breath becomes a thread snipped, a cord released, a gate opened. Not for the one who hurt you, for the one inside you, ready to stop repeating that moment in the language of muscle, breath, and posture. You don't need to forget it. You only need to stop becoming it. You are allowed to be new. Breathe again. Let the newness feel unfamiliar. That's okay, because the nervous system doesn't just hold trauma. It holds capacity. It holds return. It holds the memory of safety that existed before the hurt, and you can return there. Not to erase what happened, but to reclaim who you were before it happened. That version of you still exists, soft, open, curious, joyful. They've been waiting for your signal, and tonight you give it by saying not, it's okay what happened, but I'm okay to stop reliving it. That's enough. That's forgiveness. That's freedom. So now, let this version of you lie back, supported, unburdened, and say softly to yourself, I'm allowed to feel light again. I'm allowed to release what was never mine to hold. I'm allowed to move forward without dragging the past behind me. Feel that truth settle into your bones. Tonight is not the night you fix it all. It is the night you let go of needing to. It is the night you choose rest over revenge. Peace over proof, freedom over armor. And the universe listens. Because now, you are no longer vibrating from the grip of the past. You are pulsing from the softness of release. You are becoming the frequency of forgiveness. And that frequency attracts peace. It attracts love. It attracts futures that don't resemble the wound. And as you drift into sleep, you carry nothing but the lightness of someone who is no longer holding what they were never meant to carry. Forever. There are knots you've tried to undo with your mind. Stories you've tried to solve like puzzles, emotions you've tried to fix with logic. But energy doesn't always untangle through thinking. It unwinds through softening, through stillness, through presence. Tonight, we don't try to fix the knot, we let it breathe. And in that breath, something begins to loosen. Let your own breath follow now, slow, steady, untangling. Inhale softly through the nose, and as you exhale, imagine a thread loosening inside you, not with effort, with warmth. Because energy holds memory, not just emotional memory, but physical memory. And the body remembers every time you clenched, every time you held back tears, every time you whispered, "I'm fine," when you weren't. But tonight is different. Tonight you say, "I'm willing to feel what's been folded." And in that willingness, the energy begins to shift out. Start by noticing, where do you feel a quiet tightness right now? Your jaw, your throat, your belly, your hands. Bring your breath there, your breath there. Not to force it open, but to remind it that it no longer needs to hold so hard. Because what we call blockages are often just pieces of ourselves that got frozen in a moment, that didn't feel safe. And when safety returns, they melt. So give yourself that safety now. Tell the tightness, "You don't need to protect me anymore." Tell the tension, "I see you, I'm here." Tell the ache, "You're allowed to let go." Because your nervous system is always listening, and forgiveness doesn't always come in a wave. Sometimes it arrives as a sigh, a yawn, a breath that goes a little deeper than the last. That's the knot untangling itself. That's the energy. Remembering it can move again. Let that be enough tonight. There's no rush, only rhythm. Like hair brushing free of tangles, one stroke at a time. Your emotions begin to soften under the gentleness of your own attention. And you don't have to revisit the memory. You only have to witness the residue, that clench in your chest. That's residue. That pause in your breath. That's residue. And residue doesn't need a story. It just needs your softness. So breathe again. Breathe like someone who is allowed to rest. Breathe like someone whose system is safe to release. Breathe like someone who no longer builds identity from pain. Because the truth is, you are not the person who was hurt. You are the person who is healing. You are the space through which pain is being released, not repeated. You are the flow returning to the field. And as that flow returns, your field becomes magnetic again. Not magnetic with fear, but with freedom. Not with self-defense, but with self-trust. Because when energy untangles, so do your beliefs, so do your patterns, so do your limits. And the universe begins to respond to a you that's no longer shaped by wounds. So now, picture your field, your energy body surrounding you like mist. Not a wall, not a cage, but a soft pulse of vibration, subtle and alive. Each breath you take sends ripples through this field. Each letting go brightens it. Each exhale of old stories makes room for new ones. Forgiveness lives here, not in the mind, but in the field. It doesn't say, "I'm okay with what happened." It says, "I'm not letting what happened shape what happens next." Let that land. Let that truth hum in your bones. You are allowed to stop looping that memory. You are allowed to stop carrying its tension. You are allowed to let energy untangle without knowing how, because life knows how. Your body knows how. And as you give space, the soft, kind space of non-resistance, the knots begin to fall loose, and what remains is you, unarmored, unburdened, unfolded, still you, only softer. Only freer. Only pulsing again with energy that says, "I am no longer twisted around what hurt me. I am opening to what heals me." Let your next breath carry that message. Let your field glow with it. And let forgiveness keep flowing, even while you sleep. Because energy untangles not when you try, but when you allow. And tonight, you allow. There's a story you've told yourself about what happened, about what it meant, about what it made you become. And maybe that story helped you survive. Maybe it gave shape to your pain. Maybe it gave you something to hold when you felt lost. But now you're allowed to put it down. Not to forget, not to deny, but to create space for something softer to enter. Because the law of attraction doesn't respond to what you remember. It responds to what you repeat. And when you keep repeating the same painful story internally, silently, your frequency keeps living in the past. Tonight, you begin living from a wider space. So breathe in gently. Let your breath feel like an empty page. And on your next exhale, let the story begin to loosen. You don't have to rewrite it. You only have to stop needing it. Because stories that come from wounds often keep the wound alive. And you are no longer here to protect pain. You are here to protect peace. So rest now. Let your body settle. Let your breath become slower, warmer, more trusting. And begin to imagine this, a room in your heart once filled with the furniture of old story, boxes of memory, clocks stuck on the time it happened, walls covered in past conversations. Now, gently, you open the windows. You let the light in. You don't judge what you see. You just begin to clear space. You remove the sentence that said, "This always happens to me." You sit down the belief that whispered, "I should have seen it coming." You sweep out the echo of "I can't trust again." One breath at a time, you begin to make space. Not for a new story, not yet, just for stillness, for quiet, for air. Because forgiveness doesn't require replacement. It simply asks you to stop rehearsing what hurt. And when you do, the field begins to shift, because space is magnetic. It's not emptiness, it's invitation. The universe rushes in where resistance once lived. Peace rises where protection once ruled. New possibilities whisper in the quiet that stories used to fill. So now, rest in that quiet. Breathe into it, and notice how much room you actually have inside you. Room to create, room to receive, room to be someone who doesn't need a story to explain their worth. You're not what happened. You're not what they did. You're not the one who couldn't let go. You're the one who is now choosing freedom. Not by rewriting the past, but by no longer anchoring to it. Feel that in your spine. Feel it in your throat. Feel it in your breath. Let space live there now. Not blankness, not numbness, but a soft, clear opening. Feel the possibility where pain no longer has to echo. And as you float inside that space, you may notice something surprising, a new feeling beginning to rise. Not joy, perhaps, but ease, relief. A loosening of the thread that kept you tied to a chapter you didn't write but kept rereading. Let that thread fall now, gently, gratefully, because it brought you here. But it's not your guide anymore. Your guide now is space. And in that space, you'll find your truth, your frequency, your future, not written by pain, but pulsing from peace. So let the story go quiet. Let the past grow quiet. Let yourself grow quiet. And listen. Not for meaning, not for answers, but for the beautiful silence of a soul that is no longer bound to what it had to carry. The silence that speaks, "I am free now." Not because they said sorry, but because I chose to stop looping pain with every breath. Let that be your lullaby tonight. Let space cradle you. Let peace be your rhythm. And as you drift, know this: forgiveness was never about them. It was always about returning to yourself without the noise of the story. You're already home. And in this spacious new home, love can find you again. So can joy, so can trust. All they needed was room to enter.